Hi, I'm Wayne Best, Visa's Chief Economist. In this edition, we're looking at the consumer population that accounts for more than half of all of U.S. spending. Now you might be thinking it's the millennials, but actually consumers over the age of 50, mostly born between 1946 and 1964, are the ones who have really ramped up spending the most over the past decade. These baby boomers are also expected to drive U.S. consumer spending for the next 5 to 10 years. Now, to understand this trend, we identified a couple of important factors for further analysis, both demographics and behaviors. Let's look more closely at each of these. Now, today there are simply more consumers over 50 than there were 10 years ago. And by 2020, there will be about 11 million more consumers over the age of 60. These older boomers are driving the population growth. So it's not surprising that they are also driving the spending growth. While spending among younger consumers is expected to decline over the next 10 years, older boomers should gradually spend more, with those aged 60 plus reaching a 1/3 share of aggregate spending by 2025. Now, Generation X and millennials will continue to be an important consumer target, as much for their current spending as for their longer-term loyalty. But the strongest future growth potential in spending lies firmly with baby boomers. Consumer behaviors may play an even bigger role in baby boomer spending. One area is workforce participation. This is the number of people actively participating as a percent of those eligible to participate in the labor force. The only age group segment showing growth in labor force participation is with people aged 60 and older. Ironically, those approaching their golden years when you'd think they would start slowing down in life. Now, one of the reasons for this could be a more educated boomer generation today than we've seen previously. Staying in the workforce longer gives the boomers a sense of identity and also extends their earning years, which may have been impacted by the Great Recession. While the overall labor force is still growing slowly, participation is declining, projected to fall to less than 63% in 2022 from 67% in 2000. Now, there's a variety of factors that are causing these declines in worker participation levels, such as those that are disabled, college schooling, mismatched skills, and even a lack of good child care options. Boomer women, on the other hand, are staying in the workplace longer. They're projected to reach over 60% participation in their age group by 2022, up from just 59% in 2012. Now, another area of behavioral change is in boomer debt, and frankly, it's going up. Now, partly due to demographics, since as we said before, there are just more consumers over the age of 50. Nevertheless, more than half of consumer debt among those 65 and over is attributed to the amount of debt they choose to carry, and mortgages, credit cards, auto loans, student loans, and even home equity loans. Older borrowers are holding higher per capita balances in every debt category except credit card debt compared to 2003. Although they are less likely to revolve on their credit cards, those that do are more likely to carry a higher balance. There is a downside risk that increased debt, combined with a continued hangover from the housing crisis and increasing healthcare expenditures, could result in increasing credit risk among baby boomers. Bottom line, consumer spending is holding up despite slowing population and labor force growth. As baby boomers stay in the workforce longer and take on more debt, they're also maintaining their discretionary spending, or the things that are nice to have. Looks like gray really is the new black.